So, with Sonic Christmas Blast being one of the more unique anomalies, of Christmas specials out there, I thought I'd talk about it a little bit, especially with the fact that tomorrow is Christmas Eve and Friday is Christmas Day. And also the fact that it is going to be a bonus feature on the upcoming Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog SD on BD release in February by Discotech. But let's talk about this. Why is it such, an anomaly? Why is it such a unique, Christmas special to watch, if you will? Well, mainly because of the fact that when you get down to it, it is an amalgamation of both Sonic cartoons from 1993 to 1995, that being Adventures and SatAM. And with Adventures, you could see it's the more influenced version that they used here, because you have not the SatAM Robotnik, as the antagonist. You have the Robotnik of Adventures. You have Scratch and Grounder present, if you will. You have human characters in there that are done up in the adventure style of characters that Sonic and Tails would interact with, stuff like that. So, as well as the colors, are done up to the weather, are done up to the point that they're brightly, very brightly colorful, in a sense, probably more so than the original series. So you have all that. You have all that going for it, and the designs for like Sonic and Tails, like the inking of the characters and all that, are done up in a very adventurous way. But the color palettes obviously are based somewhat off SatAM's color palettes, for them. But again, what makes it so unique, like I said, it's the amalgamationness of it, the amalgamationness. And that amalgamationness is the fact that, like I said, you have Adventures, which is how they heavily more influenced here, but you also have Sonic SatAM. And you have that, you have that amalgamationness of, brought in due to the fact that one of the things we foresee when the special starts up is a city called Robotropolis, which is a play on Robotropolis from Sonic SatAM. But the only difference is it's not dismal in anything. It's just another city, obviously run by run by Robotnik. That's implying that perhaps Robotnik has controlled some part of the world, or gained some part of control of the world, and it's inhabited by humans. Obviously, even though they don't, even though the one thing they don't like is the person that runs the place, which is Robotnik, they have no problem living there. Unless, Robotnik gets into one of his moods like he does here. Of course, the other things that are SatAM, acknowledged or referenced that help in this amalgamation is, the acknowledgement of swap bots, but it's not the swap bots from SatAM, it's adventure style versions of swap bots where they have eyes and all that and everything, which you would expect from something like Adventures. But the one main thing that really truly makes this an amalgamation of both series is the inclusion of Sally. But here's the thing, Sally doesn't have a speaking role. Sally, is just as a cameo, a guest appearance. And apparently they couldn't get Katsushi or someone to step in to do the voice. And Sally is done up in her post-pilot season 1 design, her post-pilot season 1 design. But she has her pilot episode's color palette for her body. She doesn't have her light brown or dark brown color palette. She has the pink, furred color palette, but she has her red hair, and like I said, she's done up in her post-pilot season 1 design that we all know of. And the story is really unique because what happens is you have Robotnik take over, or try to take over Christmas, try to take over Santa Claus's job by kidnapping Santa Claus, replacing him with a robot doppelganger that would announce his retirement, passing on the job to Robotnik. Robotnik's trying to use this to get everything given to him instead of doing the opposite. And you have Sonic find out about this because he's trying to go get Sally a present, even though him and Sally agreed that they wouldn't do so. But Sonic has to tell Tails and also tell us, the viewers, that yeah, they promised that last year, but then Sally relented on that promise and instead gave Sonic, a ring that he was wearing that plays a significant role later on, as well as a bunch of other presents. So the ring, basically, that she gave him, like I said, plays a significant role because we find out that it can unlock some, legendary super speed. And this is acknowledged to us after Sonic is able to go with Tails to, save Robotnik, not save Robotnik, but save Santa Claus, I should say, save Santa Claus, from imprisonment. Santa Claus reveals to the fact that while he was in prison, he did some looking around and he saw these hieroglyphics, and one of them had the marking of the ring, had the marking that's on the ring that Sonic's wearing. So basically, after explaining to Sonic what it can do, Sonic takes on these three tasks, and which he does do and succeeds in passing, and thus he's able to unlock the super speed. And thus by doing so, he's able to go across the world, if you will, take back all the presents from Robotnik and everything, thus leaving him with nothing, and giving back all the presents to everybody, including giving a bunch of presents to Sally, by, and at the same time explaining to her that the ring she gave him, helped him out more so this year than it would have, last year and stuff like that, or throughout the rest of the year. And then he ends up kissing her under the mistletoe after basically, uncovering her from all the presents he dumped on her. He basically lifts the one up, if you will. You see her head pop up, then he puts out the mistletoe, gives her a kiss on it, saying, "Oh, look, mistletoe." Kisses her on the forehead, and then puts the present back on top of her, and then goes back to Santa Claus, who decides, you know what, even though I didn't like what Robotnik did by replacing me with this doppelganger, that doppelganger had a point. It's time for me to step down. It's time for you to take over. And thus he hands the job over to Sonic, making him Sonic Claus. And then that's how the special ends, with him and Tails wishing everybody a Merry Christmas. Although I wish they would have had Sally walk in and kind of help out with that, as well, acknowledging the connection. But what are you going to do? But again, this is what makes this such a unique amalgamation of a special. The fact that you have all these elements combined into one world, one world for one time. And the closest we've ever gotten that before in animation was, of course, the pilot, Heads or Tails, for Sonic SatAM, and as well as the earlier issues of the comic. So to see that again here, I thought was great. And this is one of the reasons why fans, talked about it back then when it came out originally, and still talk about it to this day when they keep watching it over and over again, because it still surprises them of the fact that even though this is pretty much heavily inspired by adventures, you see that it's an amalgamation of both worlds, of both shows, and I like that. I really do. So that's really all I can say on it, guys. But if you want to know why Sonic Christmas Blast is one of the features people are looking forward to the most, and probably be the most played out of the features when the SDM BD release of Adventures comes out, everything I just said here, if not more, is the reason why. But let me know what your thoughts are. Comment below, live chat during the premiere, like the video, and checking me out on my Teespring store. Also check me out at BW Rose's Discussions on all your favorite audio podcast locations except for Pandora. Also check me out at BW Rose's on VENMO, as well as on Venmo at Brian-Walmer-2, and check me out at patreon.com/BWRoses. But until next time, guys, just wanted to come on here and tell you about all that. I'd give you my thoughts, and I'm out.